charges for protesting that they indict and convict the officer that murdered her. So we are here to make sure that we register people to vote. We are here to make sure that we educate the general masses on Daniel Cameron, who is running for governor, because a vote for Daniel Cameron is a vote against Breonna Taylor and her legacy. And what we will not do is endorse someone that does not think the lives of black women are important. And I cannot speak on this woman's important life without giving the mic to women before me that have paved the way for me to hold this mic. I want to save you for last because you are the most important person in this room. You have been a mother to us all. You have led this movement in spite, of course, of your beloved daughter. But we are here because you have led us to be here. You have fought tirelessly, endlessly, resiliently, and bravely against the forces that have tried to hold us back. I'm going to give the mic to my sister, Tamika. And you always have words that really lead the charge and get us revved up for this fight, because we get tired, we get worn out, but you always remind us of the fight ahead of us. So I'm going to pass the mic to you first, and I would love for you to pass the mic to our sister, Tamika.
No problem. Thank y'all so much for coming. Give yourselves a round of applause. Let us celebrate those who traveled here from far away to be with us. My brother Trey True, who was a part of Until Freedom and has been with us on this journey day in and day out. Also, Sister Spice here came down, and it was beautiful when you just walked in just down and the folks didn't know you were coming. My brother Mendices, and of course, my sister Yandy, I appreciate you so much for being on this journey. Day in and day out, Yandy is always checking in, and she's not, some of the folks came in 2020, they wanted to get in front of the cameras, they needed something to do. Some people just didn't have anything to do. It was a pandemic, and they were like, well, I believe in the cause for justice, and so I'll show up. But now that life is back open again, they've returned to their normal lives, and in many ways have sort of left the work that we've been doing together. But not Yandy and not Trey and others, and of course not us at Until Freedom. And I always like to celebrate the work that Until Freedom is doing, because we are staying very consistent, and it is not an easy feat. It is not to be consistent in this movement. Some of the folks who helped us to be here today, Brother Marco is over here with us, please. Come on. And Sister Shayna Say, our brother, come on up. Let's go see you. Our brother back here, DJ Forerunner. I told him that today while we walked around Kentucky State and we were meeting different people and getting folks registered, he had more cousins and best friends than anybody I've ever met in my life. Because everybody out there told me they was his cousin, they was his best friend. But that means that he's well respected in this community. And I just want to say to Brother Devon and his beautiful wife, and to this sister who I just met, who's my soror, Shayna Say, that a few days ago we called them and asked them to come and be with us. And people were so quick to say yes and to want to organize, because they're already doing the work of making sure that Daniel Cameron does not become the next governor of the state of Kentucky. And so when you have this type of collaboration, it spreads. And that's what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to be an organizer to do this work. You just need to take some voter registration cards with you to Sunday dinner, take them to your cousin's house, take them to your community, take them to your jobs. You too can be an activist that is a part of this fight that we're in, this historic fight that we're in, to ensure that we do not allow what is spreading across this nation, racism, sexism, fascism, a need to destroy and to dismantle the work that our ancestors put in to bring us to where we are today. We cannot allow allow that to happen. So do the work when you leave here. And the last thing I'll say is that, Breonna Taylor's family, they have been at every event that we host in this city and in this state and outside the state, where we call and say, hey, we want to do something. I meet her oftentimes in the parking lot, showing up to do this work on behalf of her only daughter, but she could go home and say, I'm tired, I don't want to be out here anymore. And which one of us would judge her or feel a way if she decided to stop and say, I need a mental health break, I can't do this work. But she understands that this fight that we're in, it stretches beyond, it goes beyond Breonna Taylor. There's another Breonna out there right now that tonight, when she goes to lay down in her bed, her life can be taken because of the corruption that exists within law enforcement, unlawful enforcement, as you say, my son, in this nation. And I'll leave you all with this one thing just to help bring us and center us in this space and understand what we're looking at. Janiyah, when I first met her, first of all, when we first met both of them, they were kind of like, who the hell are y'all and why did y'all come here? But then we became family. The first thing Janiyah ever said to me out of her mouth, first she said hi, and then the next thing she said was, come and let me show you something. And she took me to the window of her bedroom in the apartment where she and Breonna lived. And her window frame had bullet holes and the remnants of shots going through the window. Her room was shot at more than the rest of the house. So Janiyah was out of town. But if she was home in her bedroom, Tamika could have lost 2 daughters in the same night. So this is the type of trauma that we're looking at. This is not just some, fly-by-night thing. It's serious because it could have been you or me. Any one of us could have been there, visiting, hanging out, talking, just being in the community. And we can't forget to lift our brother Kenny Walker. Because as a black man, Kenny stood up in that house and did what he could do to protect Breonna. And he may not have been able to save her life, but he tried. He stood up for her as a black man. He stood up for his black woman. And so we must stand for them at this point and be their strength. And so thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being along this journey with Until Freedom, with this family, and with your community that is fighting for what's right. What you are fighting for is what is right. Don't let anybody tell you, forget about politics, don't get it. Everything we do, from who we sleep with, to how we sleep with them, to what we drink, to what we eat, to everything in your life is political. Your political decisions control the day-to-day of your life, and you all being a part of this is being a part of history. So thank you so much.
And I will forget some people, and nobody is unnoticed. I want to say that nobody is unnoticed. But I want to say, I'm in custody. Forgive me. I tell them not to let me talk because I cuss. But I want to say some stuff. I want to say, you know how 2020 went, right? It was so many of us. This room has been filled 7 times over, right? But people forget, when people go home, I didn't get to do that. I'm so trapped in March the 13th. And I'm so trapped in that, and I don't know what to do with that, right? And so when Tamika called me, hey, I didn't like her because I didn't even know her name was spelled because it may have been wrong. I want to say that. It's one way to spell Tamika, and her mother got it right, which made her a good Tamika. So I have to say that, right? And when she told me how her name was, she probably thought I was crazy because I wanted to know. But I knew that I needed to listen at that point, right? I didn't get a lot of things right in my life. I didn't. I had 2 blessings in the world, and so I still can't stand it every day. It's my kids, right? I love them. I bear them. I've done my best. I have. But I want to talk about, listen, I'm so grateful for y'all because y'all continue to show up. But let me explain something. I am dying inside. I am dying. I am having mental meltdowns because people are attacking me as if I did something wrong. People are attacking the people that are helping me as if we did something wrong. The thing is this, Breonna was at home. Breonna was at her home. She didn't fucking hustle. She didn't fucking do the wrong thing to get that home. She worked. She did a thing. She went and got it. She went and earned a certificate. She went and did some shit that said she deserved to live in the everyday world with everyday ass people. And the people who she paid to protect and serve her decided she wasn't worth that. And that's a problem for me. And what I want people to, I get that it's a problem for me, but what y'all gotta understand is it's a problem for y'all. Y'all doing the same shit that she was doing. And so when I tell y'all, I love y'all and I will forever be grateful, and I don't get to say that to y'all enough. But let me tell you something. I am hurting and I am dying. And I am relying on y'all so much that I think that I'm letting y'all down. And I'm forever hurting for that because I cannot be what y'all want me to be. And I guess that people think that I got this cape on my back and that I did some shit that the other people can do. What I did was showed up. What I did was say that my daughter deserved better because when I lived, one thing is, I believe if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. The thing was, that wasn't Breonna sword, no motherfuckers wasn't gonna make it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the beginning, I ain't always been perfect. If I had to die by that sword, you know what, I done some shit in my life, and I done some things trying to love some niggas and be some people that I wasn't. And so I could have accepted that. But the thing about her was she was something so different, y'all. She was so perfect in some ways that I can't even explain. She was every version of me, but so much motherfucking better than me. She said that I would tell you, listen, she would say, Mom, it's Mother's Day or it's Christmas. What do you want? What do you need? I said, I would always tell her some shit that she can't afford because I would, because I didn't need nothing. I was doing what I needed to do. So I always said something that she couldn't afford. I need a new motorcycle. I needed something she couldn't afford. She'd be like, well, I got you, but not today. Today I don't got you. Today, what you need that costs $150. But I'm gonna pull up on you later because I got you. You did done your part. And so, let me tell you something. If anybody needed to fought for, if anybody needed it, it was her. If anybody, I don't like to call people perfect. I don't like to say, and I'm not saying it because she was mine. But when I tell y'all, she was better than me. I don't like people. I'm not friendly. I'm not a lot of things, but when I tell you she was so much better than me, and she deserved so much better from the city. Let me explain something. No, I know I'm probably supposed to get out right here. I gotta tell y'all something. So we're not from Kentucky. I moved to Kentucky from Michigan. And in Michigan, I felt like history repeated itself, right? You know, you graduate, you whatever, you go get the drug dealing boyfriend, you living life, right? Till your house get raided, you ain't got shit, and whatever else is going on. Section 8 can't help you. I don't know them. I'm just talking about what was happening in the community I live in. And I said, like, I ride motorcycles, right? So I started traveling the world and going to different cities. And Louisville was a city, every time I came to it, had something going on with kids, right? They was uplifting kids. Everybody was doing their part. And I was like, damn, my kids need to see this shit. My kids need to be a part of this because we are so much better than the initiative they're giving us, right? So I was so worried and so confused about moving them, but I knew I had to do something. I did, right? So I had to test my theory, right? One day I said to my kids, we gotta go home. And they was like, what you mean? What's happening? We gotta go home, we gotta move back. And they was like, why? Did somebody die? And I was like, well, people die every day. No, we just gotta go home. This ain't it for real. They was like, oh, dude, if you need to go back and do some stuff, we'll wait for you here. They weren't going back. They realized, in that moment, I knew I did the right thing, right? In that moment, my doctor told me, my doctor at the school came home and said, Mom, I'm a genius. She knew she said she was the shit that had, right? My daughter came home and said she was a genius and that she wasn't going nowhere. Kentucky belongs to her at that point, right? Wow. She loved the city that killed her, y'all. She loved the city that killed her. And then, I don't know how to feel about that, so I get that, but I should say this. I am having a mental, I'm going through my stuff. I brought her here. I brought her here and made her love the city that killed her.
It's all right.
I thought I did the right thing, right? Now I have to question that I did the right thing.
It's the right thing.
I did. But one thing I try to remember is, one thing about Breonna is I knew she would be great, right? I never worried about her, unlike the deceiving churches. I never worried about her, right? I knew that she was going to be that thing. I wish I would have, and I meant to bring this vision board that Breonna did in 2018. On this vision board, John, it's so unreal. Breonna put on this vision board at 26 years old, she was going to be ready and set to change the world. And at 26 years old, they took her fucking life. And she, I'm not gonna hold y'all because I can go on for eternity talking about the greatness that somehow I listen. When I tell y'all she was better than me, baby, I can go on forever. But what I want to say is, I continue to thank God. And I don't get to say it every day, and I don't know everybody's name. Y'all have blessed me because let me tell you something. I am going through some stuff right now. I am barely able to stand. My mother, who is Breonna's homegirl, literally died a couple years before her, which I'm glad of at this point because if my mother had to die first, it would have killed her. But tomorrow is my mother's birthday. I am losing my mind right now. I am losing my mind and I am trying and I am not good enough. I am not the person that y'all want to be.
You are amazing. You are amazing.
And I am not. It is, listen. Yeah, I love you. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm doing enough, if I've done enough. And I am challenging that. And I'm telling you.
we're gonna end this. I don't think there's nothing else you can say after that. But we gotta show up to these polls for Breonna, y'all. We gotta show up and we gotta make sure that our voices are heard. Because you cannot disrespect, violate, and allow our women to be killed and then expect us to vote you into office. No way, no how. Breonna, forever. Tamika, we got you. You did everything right. Everything right. You did everything a mother could do. There ain't a mother that can stand next to you and say they did more than you ever in my life. I never seen a mother stand up and show up every time despite and go through the fire every time the way you do, Queen. We got your back. And we're gonna fight with you. I told you we ain't gonna be here until it's over. And then when it's over, we're gonna start it over again. So on count of three, I want y'all to say Breonna. 1, 2, 3. Breonna! I love you.
If you do nothing else.
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 If you do nothing